Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Life Issue. This is Blessing. Thank you so much for coming to our channel today, where we bring to you another interesting topic. I do have a guest speaker today. Kingsley, can you hear me? Oh dear. Um, I do. I can't hear you. Um, but I think there's some technical issues on his side. Hopefully, that can be sorted out very soon. I can see your image, but I cannot hear you. And we have gone live. So, hi guys, hi everybody. Good evening. Today is Sunday evening, and I'm having another lovely Sunday conversation. And today is a little bit controversial. I do have a guest speaker, and I'm hoping that the guest speaker will finally be able to come in and put in his own knowledge. All right, let's talk about this. I'm gonna get my husband to call the guest speaker and see what's going on, because really there is something wrong, maybe either with the network or with his connection. All right, today we have a lot to talk about, and I need my guest speaker to come. So my first question is, I'm going to add him back. Let's see. Yay! My guest speaker, hi. Finally, we can see you and we can hear you.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us this evening. So every evening Sunday, we have this conversation and we talk about issue. And I decided to invite you to my show today because of something that someone said to me. But let's actually ask this question and start the ball rolling. So the question on the table today is, are churches business or charity organization? Now, there was a show, or there was something that somebody sent to me over the weekend, the week and the weekend. And I've been trying to ask myself a question: where is Christianity heading to? What is going on? Do you understand? So, this evening, for everybody out there, we are going to be looking at Christianity in Nigeria. We're going to be thinking about, where is Christianity heading to? Are we supposed to be churches, or are we supposed to be business organization? And with me today is a very knowledgeable person. His name is Kingsley Okoroji. I think I got that right. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
going to be putting his own thoughts about this discussion. So, guys, join me as we talk about churches, not just in Nigeria, around the world, if it's becoming a business center, or should it be a charity organization. Join me. All right, guys, thank you so much. So, oh, I don't know where my guest speaker has gone to. All right, so let's see. He's going to come back. Hi, let me just greet people that are joining me. Hello, Margaret. How are you? Um, hi, Dawn. How are you? Um, hello. So hi, Dawn. Now, okay. So I'm gonna hope for my guest speaker to come back, because he's the one that I'm having this conversation with. Hopefully he's gonna come back. Nigerian internet data. Oh, hi. All right, can you introduce yourself? Because what people want to know is, who am I talking to? Why did I bring this person on the show? So can you give us a little bit background of who you are?
Okay. My name is Kingsley Okoroji, and I'm an IT professional, and I work with one of the leading IT companies in the world. This is Huawei, and I'm a Christian from the Catholic background.
Right, so you
And
are a Christian. So
yeah,
were you brought up in a Pentecostal church, or were you brought up in an Anglican church, or Catholic church? I want to know a little bit of your background.
Okay, actually, I was brought up I was brought up in the Catholic church.
Okay.
Um, I grew up Catholic. Then on the line, sometimes during school, I was attending Pentecostal Pentecostal church redeem for like 3 years. Stop. But for now, I see myself as a Catholic.
Okay, for now, you see us.
Yeah.
For me personally, me and you have the same kind of background. I was brought up as an Anglican person. I think I left Anglican when I got into high school, like secondary school. And I've been a Pentecostal person up until last 2 years when the COVID happened. Now, I have been very passionate and I've been very vocal about why I left the Pentecostal church and what I felt they did wrong during the pandemic, and how I felt disappointed. Now I go to Anglican church and I go to the Church of England because I believe that, what, at the end of the day, Christianity should be a personal race. It's not about denomination. So
Yeah.
basically, which denomination now are you? I just want us to get the picture. So where do you
So
worship now?
now, for now, I would say for the past 5 years, I've not been to church.
You have not been to church.
Yeah, for the past five
Wow.
years. Yeah.
Wow. You know, this, I try to make my show to be personal and to ask those questions. So I'm going to ask you a question. Why?
Yeah, sometimes based on some reasons, a personal reason to me, because there are some things that I feel churches are not doing right, and somehow I just stopped going to church because I wasn't impressed with the churches, the way they worship, and especially Nigeria here. I love say everything is all about money, and they don't care about how you got your money. As long as you have the money, you're more important than others. And this is having a very bad impact on the youth. Because, the youth these days, they see money as priority. So, and this has somehow affected, impacted increase in crime, because church is supposed to at least be making impact in trying to reduce crime. So I see churches as part of those contribute to increase in crime in the country because of the way they make so much emphasis on money. Yeah,
I
and
know,
most of the
I know, I know. You know what? Yes, somebody out there. I mean, I used to be one of those. Let me not just even say somebody out there. Somebody out there will be, shouting or wanting to come up and say, "Yeah, if you don't believe in money, don't believe in money. If you don't want to talk about prosperity, don't talk about." But the point is that there is a difference between the love of money and the worship of money and the worship of God. Do you understand? And I get what you are saying. I mean, everybody wants to be rich, everybody wants to get prosperity. But when wealth is not being questioned by parents, by churches, when we're not looking at the society to give account of our behavior, then what is Christianity? Where are we heading to? I mean, when you talk about an African, I'm going to ask you this question because this is the question that is on my mind today because of what happened this week. Are churches meant to be a business organization or are they meant to be a charity organization? Please. Hello?
yeah. Um, to me, I feel churches should be more of charity than business, because but for what I see here, especially here in Nigeria, is more of business.
Wow.
It's more
Wow.
business here in Nigeria, and this part of, and especially most places I've seen is more business, especially in Nigerians, they see it's more business. And most of these pastors are enriching themselves at the expense of their followers.
I'm going to show you something that I saw because I'm doing this video is somebody sent me a news, and I could not believe what I saw. So I'm going to share with you the news and the information that the person gave me. Sorry, I'm just trying to take off this because it's not the one I want to show you. I don't know if you know about Christ Embassy, the fact that
Yeah.
they now have a church. When I talk about, they now have a bank. So Christ Embassy opened a bank. I'm going to give you a little bit of background because this is what this somebody wanted me to talk about this, and the person was like, "What do I think?" So in 2020, Christ Embassy as a church opened a microfinance. Yeah. So when they opened the microfinance, um, they kind of like ran it for the past 2 or 3 years. And last week, they've gotten the CBN to actually give them the license for them to float a bank. I'm talking about a bank. What do you think about this? Because basically, when I heard that story, what came into my mind is what is actually a church doing with a bank? What do you think about this?
So, well, this is the first time I'll be hearing such that the church is opening a bank. I've not heard any of this in any part of the world. This is the first time, and for, Nigeria is the first. So that tends to kind of support my argument earlier that church is all about business. So, so this is an example of churches because what they care about is money.
I'm
Although,
can you see my
if you
can you
look at
see
the
my screen? Can you see my
most,
screen? So
I
that's
can
the
see your
pic.
screen.
Yeah, so that's a picture of the second in command of Christ Embassy. I think Pastor Tom, and that's the lady in charge of Ikeja. I know most of them. So is it actually true? So Christ Embassy is floating, or they have opened a bank, and the bank is called Parallels. So my question is, should a ministry, a church dive into banking? I know somebody will come up and say it doesn't matter, it's okay. But are they business organization? Are they not supposed to be a charity organization? Uh, can you just put your thought into it?
Yeah. I don't see what churches. That text to tell you what Nigeria is all about. About church, it's all about business. They've turned it to business, so I'm not surprised. But so is appalling seeing churches going into banking. Um, that means to tell you that they've lost their path
Hmm.
because the essence of church is to serve soul.
Yeah.
So this tells you what church is all about. The number one priority of churches, especially here in Nigeria, is money, is business. So that tends to tell you what it's all about. And people talk about even when you go to the church, what they preach about is money. It's 90% of what they preach in churches are about wealth, money.
Wow. Wow.
So,
But
so
I,
I'm
I was I
surprised.
was just I was
I'm not surprised.
yeah,
So
I was looking at, pastors that have private jets, and I was blown by the fact that
yeah,
almost all pastors in Nigeria, they all have private jets.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And the ones in America, I think it's more like America and Nigerian pastors that are into this private jet craze. And they would tell
Yeah.
you that they're using it for ministry. And I'm just wondering, someone like you who've not been in church for 5 years now, is this one of the things that you saw that got you,
Eh,
out of the
exactly. This is
church?
what
Because
exactly. This is one of the things I saw. This is one of the thing I saw that tends to put me off on churches because I I when you go to churches you see the members, so many people, so most of them no jobs, some are looking tattered, not well fed. And you see, look at the pastors wearing designer shoes, flying private jets. Even when they build schools, the schools that churches build is not meant for the poor. It's only meant for the rich, and the poor
Yeah,
can't afford it.
talking about
And
school. That's the winner
yeah,
one, isn't it? Winner's Chapel.
Winner is an example. Winner is not the only one. There are so many of them that have schools, and those schools are not meant for the poor. And I know they might go to the bank to borrow money, to loan money, to get money for their projects, but at the end of the day, see the followers that pay through tithe and offering, and so to offset the loans that they collected from banks. And this is one, and so when I kind of dissect all this, and I've told myself, I will never put my money into church. Instead of me giving the church my offering, I better look at it. If I see a neighbor that is in need, it's better for me to give that neighbor that money than to give it to the church, because it's crazy the way church are. Because even these days, you see a lot of boys into your in short, in Nigeria. Yeah, most of 80% of the youth nowadays is all about money. A lot of it if you go to Lekki, for example, Lekki, all the youth in Lekki are all engaged in Yahoo Yahoo.
So the
Just to
question now is, my question is, with all the churches, because you expect that with the number of churches that we have, with the amount of, let's say, redeem in every streets, um, Christenberg in every place, winners in every way, you expect that the morality, I'm not even talking about the social issue, the morality of Africa and Nigeria would be better. So what is happening with churches
yeah, actually,
everywhere?
is the issue. What is happening? The issue, what is happening, is the message. It's not about, you can have churches everywhere, but the important thing is the message. What kind of message are you passing? It's the message that is impacting, um, having the effect on the youth. Because if you go to when you go to the church and your neighbor sitting beside you is richer than you, and whenever the church is doing any event, is the ones that has the money to give that is called upon, and the youth are saying this. So you're passing a message. You're passing a message that without money, you're not important in the society.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah,
right. That reminds me, when I was in Pentecostal church, in a church, in Pentecostal church, if you are not giving to pastor or not giving, they will give you a target. If you are not bringing the million, you will never be a pastor. You never be a deacon, or you never be a leader.
yeah. And that's the problem. The problem is the message. It's not about the number of churches. It's the message. They're not passing. They're not passing the right message. It's not about words, prosperity and words, money, riches. That's the only thing they preach. I can't remember the last I've heard about good sermon in the church from the Bible. And the funny thing that some pastors, they find a way of twisting the words in the Bible just to achieve their, just to deceive the followers to get money from their pockets. Can imagine a pastor telling, for last time I was listening to one show on television, a pastor, I think a female, I can't remember her name, telling the followers that if you're bigger than your friend, if you have money more than your friend, you should cut away from such friend.
Yeah,
So that
I
means if I
saw
have a
that.
friend, so that means I have a friend that I'm richer than, that is poor. So that means that person is not important because that person doesn't have money. That's the message. It's the message you're passing. So, and friendship is not about money. It's not only money that you gain from friendship. Hmm? But this
I saw
pastor,
that. I saw that
yeah,
preaching. It was a Nigerian woman. It's a
yeah,
woman pastor.
yeah,
And when
one
I saw
pastor,
that, sometimes I just, where are these people getting? And the worst part is the gullible members that actually will tell you, "Oh, my pastor said, my pastor said, my pastor said, my pastor said." Let me
yeah,
show you what Christ Embassy is promising people that actually will, if you're going to be joining, if you're going to be part of their bank, this is what they are. The MD of the bank is Olufemi Bakare. So they said that their acronym is going to be speed, execution, extra mile, extra touch, digital, innovative, and discipline. So this is what the bank is going to be all about. Now, what got me when I was as a former banker, what got me was that they said that they're going to be giving people free and 5 free interbank transfer daily. I think you should go and register in this bank. Oh. So you know how your bank charges you for your interbank. Western Basic Bank is saying that they're going to be giving you free, no maintenance fee on all accounts. You know, in the UK, we do not
Mm.
have maintenance fee. I don't pay anything when what am I maintaining? I put my money, I take my money. I don't maintain anything. So, you know,
Yeah.
those things that they know is wrong with Nigerian bank, that is what they are trying to promise people. Now they said
Yeah.
unsecured business loan. That's the one I was like, how are they going to do it? So if I go to,
Unsecure business too.
yeah,
That means
as a banker,
they're
I
not ready
say
to
this is
they're not ready, that means Nigerians will score with your money.
no, because they said unsecured. So how can you give somebody a loan and it's not secured? Is it only for their church member, or is it only for people? I don't know. I don't get that unsecured. And I'm like, is this not enticing words that to get people in? Do you understand?
Of course.
Where in the world do you give a loan that is not secured? I don't know how they're going to run it. For those of you that are going to open the accounts tomorrow, they've started operation. So you guys should go and look and tell me and ask them for the loan. Let's see how a bank will give someone an unsecured. Unless the only way I would say is that maybe it is only for their church member. That means it's going to be loan based on I know you. Do you get it? And then they said they will give free debit card. So you know how when you go to collect your debit card, you get 2,000 or 1,005. Pastor Mbasi is saying that when you open accounts in their bank, there is a fee. I'm reading what their publication said, not me said. That is what they have put out there. And I'm saying, Biko, there's something they did not add. Miracle money. They did not add miracle money. So are they going to be giving people miracle interest rates? Because that's the word that be. If I hear that miracle money, I'm going to open tomorrow. Because Pastor, I used to see doing one of the programs, and they talk about miracle money, miracle money. So, Casey, are you enticed based on everything that you have seen there? If they
I'm not
add
enticed.
miracle money, will you
I'm not
open
enticed.
tomorrow?
I'm not enticed. I'm not even interested. I saw that 2 days ago on Google. When I went to Google, I saw that I'm not interested because I already have a bank I'm banking with, and that's the bank I've banking all my life since I started banking. So I've not seen any other bank. I'm satisfied with my bank. So any other one, I don't know what because let's see how it goes, Sha. I'm watching them. Let's see how it goes. How long they are going to last in the industry. Because I don't see how you're going to run a loan without security, especially here in Nigeria where there's no social security or anything to be able to trace anybody that has come with your money. Well, let's see how it goes.
When I had this news, I said that what, I need to talk about it, because I just see it as there's this story about Christ Embassy earlier in the year, and there's this Pastor Toby, what's his name again, in the UK, the man that actually used the charity money to, yeah, that's,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
Matthew
Yeah,
Matthew Ashimolo.
no, Mashachmolo's one was like 5 years ago, but this one just happened recently. I think I have Matthew Ashimolo's story somewhere. But this pastor, in the UK, churches are meant to be charity organizations strictly. So they take part of the tax. So if I give money to the church, part of the money I give, they don't tax them, and then they'll take money from my tax that I've given to the government. They will give it back to them based on the amount that I've paid. So they make a lot of
Yeah,
money out of it. Do you understand? So
yeah,
this man decided that he was using the charity money. In this country they scrutinize. In Nigeria, pastors get away with things. In this country, they will scrutinize you. The pastor was using the money for buying house in America, buying things, and he was telling his members to go and get loan. You know how Nigerian pastors they get away with things. This man
Yeah.
was reported, and he he got into. I think the church is closed now. The church, I think they've taken the church. The church is closed now. The man's
Wow.
story was
That,
very,
that's nice.
yeah, it was
No,
very, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you know the story, but I'm just
yeah,
wondering.
I'm familiar with Matthew Ashimole's own. That's also Matthew also did the same thing. He bought a condo, an apartment in Florida, also Miami, with the charity money.
Wow,
That I'm familiar. I'm not familiar with this guy. I told you. I was saying that for the first time. So that's
wow.
how. That's especially they think that that's how Nigerian pastors are, just to
Do you know
enrich
that? Do you know that
themselves.
this pastor asked their members to go and sell their blood to sow?
Who?
To because in some blood bank here, when you sell your blood, they pay you. He was commanding, telling his members to go and sell their blood and sow them. It was a very this story was something that I could not believe because it was very pathetic. People talked about there's a lot of stories about Nigerian pastors. Oyedepo had his own problem because it's supposed to be a charity, but now they have all turned into business.
Yeah.
Yeah, in business.
I think there's one this thing I remember one Parama. I saw that in BBC and CNN and on Google. Parama, one investigative journalist, Parama papers or something like that. That's so many of these were world leaders and pastors were indicted in his offshore money scam where
Yeah,
they hide
slashing
money.
money offshore. Yeah.
I think Oyedepo was part of them. He has an offshore company where his children are board of directors and they are being paid salary from there. And then, well, it's so funny, Sha. It's so funny how this pastors, everything about it's business, it's about enriching yourself and your family. Nobody
Wow.
care about the other person. And that's why we have a problem in Nigeria. The problem with Nigeria is that nobody loves their neighbor. People is all about you and your family. And that is why the country is not moving forward because I don't see because in a situation where the majority of the populations are poor, and poverty they say poverty is a disease because poverty tends to affect your thinking, the way you think. If you're poor, if you've been there before, the way you think is different because your self-esteem most times you affect your first self-esteem, it affects your psyche, the way you think. You can't think very normally, the way you're supposed to as a normal human being. So that's why most of these persons they've seen that. They've seen that. That's why they capitalize on that. So tends kind of they capitalize on that kind to kind of trick their kind of brainwash their followers to get money from them. And to me, it's wicked. It's wicked because you're supposed to help these people to grow. You're supposed to pass message to them on how to live and survive and progress. But instead, the message you pass to them is for them to bring what they have to you, so you enrich yourself and
Can I ask
live
you,
fat.
who do you think will be funding this bank? Whose money do you think? Who are the first people that they would tell to open the account that this bank is God's bank, Jesus is
Of
coming
course,
soon, and this is
of course, the first embassy followers will be the first. They will be the first to go there
oh my
because
God. All the
because
leaders, in that church, they will give them a target this night. Open 5 accounts for Jesus Christ to say that you are worthy. And all of them.
of course the followers will be the first to open. Just mark my word. Just go check. If you check your book record, you find out the followers will be the first to open because they at least they say charity brigade from home. They want to,
Wow. Wow.
of course, the
Oh my
followers they will do.
God. When I saw this story, I told myself, you know what, I must talk about it. And I needed somebody that can actually, talk about it with me. And I know your take about all these things. I mean, before me and you will argue, argue, argue. But now I'm beginning to see what
I remember when last I came to UK, you always you always question me that I don't go to church, or you always want to drag me to church because I don't enjoy church. So one thing about me is that if I don't like, if something, if I'm not feeling you and I don't like, I'm not comfortable with what I'm doing, I find it difficult going there. That's one thing about me. You understand? So it's not
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
because one, the pastor is not God. For me, what I believe is that you, everybody knows what is right and what is wrong. Do the right thing. I can equally pray in my house. I can equally pray to God and God will answer my prayer. I don't need to go and meet any pastor to pray for me. That's what I believe. Uh, and I believe I wish Nigerians can have that belief. You see, I can remember one time one of my neighbor here, the wife has cancer, and the guy was desperate because he has spent money, he has borrowed money for treatment from the company, and he was treating the wife. And somebody suggested a church to him to go and visit the pastor so that the pastor can pray for the wife, so he should be healed. When the guy got there, the first thing the pastor asked the guy to do is to drop 20,000 naira. And this someone that has
and
borrowed money
upon the person's sickness, the
upon the
person will
person,
drop money.
upon the suffering the guy is going, upon the emotional trauma the guy is going through. The first thing the pastor asked the guy is that before I can attend to you, you have to drop 20,000 naira. And you tell me this is that, and that, and you're telling me tomorrow I should go to that church. You're supposed to, even what I expect the pastor to do is, okay, hey, you need help. Take money. I'm giving you money to support you so that your wife can get healed. Instead of collecting from the guy. You collected 20,000 naira from the guy. Did nothing. When the guy was telling me, I told the guy, why did you go there? Don't you know Nigerian pastors? The first thing they ask you is money. They don't care if your wife is dying or not. They don't care. They don't have, those pastors don't have feelings for anybody. The
Wow.
only feeling they have is money. They collected 20,000 from that guy. After some week, the guy's wife died, and the guy
Wow.
was
So
paying.
after collecting the money, the woman Kukuma died.
Why she would die? She has breast cancer, serious, aggressive one, breast cancer.
The Bible,
And
when I read the Bible and I read that part that they said, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Do you understand? I have stopped arguing with Nigerians and when it comes to pastor say, or pastor, because I found that there is this systematic blindfolding that people don't even read their Bible for themselves. Is what pastor said, pastor said. Now,
exactly
I
what
was
pastor
talking to,
said.
I was because my husband still goes to church, and he came back and he told me that, oh, pastor said that in 3 or 4 years' time that Jesus is coming. I said, chapter what, verses what? Because it's not in my Bible that a pastor will know when Jesus is coming. And the pastor
No,
said the signs are there, it's going to come very soon. And I'm like, chapter what, verses what? The Bible says the time, the hour, and the day nobody knows. Even we don't know. It says it's going to come sudden. That God has revealed the sign. Said it's not possible. You see, this is my Anglican church that I'm going. I might not be Jim, but I am at peace with myself. And I know that when I get to church, it is the word of God. I'm not having people, preach what is not in the Bible. And because I want to be in an euphoria, in a highway, and shouting and belonging. It's not right. So when I saw this news, and I'm going to say it again, what please drop the link to join. Oh, somebody wants to join the link. Hold on. People want to join. Let me drop the link. The link was already dropped on our website. I'm dropping the link now. If you want to join us, please join us. So the link is there now. If you want to join us, go to our page. You will see the link is on my Facebook page. My profile page is on the Life Issues magazine. Is on our Switch, and it's also, I don't think it's on our Twitter. Yeah, so you can join us if you want to. So basically, it's almost like we're going to run out very soon because I want us to stop at um 8 o'clock because Nigeria is about to face. Which country are we facing? Let's not go into football now. Okay, let me ask you the last question. I hope Abubak joins us because he's somebody that actually I like his conversation when it comes to this kind of issues. Let me ask you: have you seen that mommy Gio that is going around with that?
Oh,
You know,
oh, that's
you know, these are, as a Christian, me myself, I shame like that. These are people that have congregation, and people are actually following them, and they are calling them pastor and calling them GO. Do you understand? I have watched most of her videos and I'm like, seriously? And people, what baffles me is that people in that church are clapping as she's preaching. Please, have you
yeah.
seen that video? What do you have to say about that woman?
I've seen a lot of that video. I have only one word. I think that woman is psychologically derailed. She has a psychological problem. That's one thing I can say. Because most of her, because the rage, because most of our preaching doesn't make sense because you can't even relate them because that's why I say she's psychologically deranged. She
Yeah.
needs a she needs psychologically she needs to go to psychiatry for treatment because her preaching doesn't make sense. I can't imagine someone that say how you all of a sudden you repented and become a virgin. I don't see how that's possible. Or you're a comedian. Comedians will go to hell, or footballers will go to hell. I don't see way how that is possible. I don't see how she come about her own judgment. Sha. That's now big. Because that man, I don't think she's well. I think she's sick upstairs.
But this is something that, during the pandemic, some people had some sick ideology, and yet they had followers. So this,
Yeah.
my question is, how can such people have followers? Did you see her church? People
I
were
saw I
clapping.
saw I saw
What
young
is
guys
wrong
there.
with our society? That's my question. Because when I sit down and I ask my question, yeah, all I
See,
ask is,
see,
what is
see,
fundamental? Ritualists to
uh,
go to church.
yeah, there's
Kidnappers,
one thing
so
I do. I think I'll put it this way. I would say religion is a function of poverty. Do you understand what I mean? In Nigeria, yeah, religion is a function of poverty. Uh, you know, when a society where people cannot afford basic needs, cannot afford, so they tend to seek for somewhere they can seek solace, at least in order to relieve themselves from the pains they are going through. That's why I see most of them go to the church. That's why I see you too. They go to the church. This is why they go to church is just to while away their sorrow, to relieve themselves from this emotional trauma that are going through because of poverty. So that's why I say religion is a function of poverty in Nigeria. Because where in a society where all these basic things, food and so people cannot afford to eat 3 square meals. In Nigeria is a miracle because especially during this pandemic period. When those pandemic, people are suffering. Not to talk of when during this pandemic period, people are going through a lot. So and these pastors, they know the only place that people can seek solace is through church, going to church,
How?
seeking for miracle.
yeah.
No,
That's the only way.
they don't do
That
the
is
other one.
why that's why these things are happening.
No, the other side, they
All
have
right,
done it.
Abuba, we have you on. I don't know. You are talking on the
Yeah, yeah,
background.
yeah. Good evening, ma.
Good evening. How are you? What do you have to say?
Amen.
Because what do you have to say about our discussion today? We're looking at Christ Embassy. They just floated a bank, and I'm just wondering, when did we
But
turn churches into business establishments? So is it that the tithe money and the special seed money, that is what they will use, they're going to use to float this? Is it that somebody gave him money to float this? Is it that the money that they are using? Because I know of the fact that the church have a printing press, they have other businesses. Pastor Chris is selling his books. So he has
yeah,
he, he has books, he has money, he has billions. I know To float a bank in Nigeria, we're talking about billions. So he has billions, but yet there are poor and wretched people in his church. Now, people will say he's not the government, but you are a pastor, you have money, but you are using that money to float your church. Is this morally right? What do you think about this?
Well, before I go into this, first of all, I have to be honest. I know the establishment of this bank is not called for, but according to my research, the research that I've done so far, what my findings was the establishment was majorly for the partnership. That is those that are already in partnership in that particular church. So this is where whatever they realize from the partnership, this is where they will be keeping the money. So that is the
Wow.
research that I
Oh,
did.
so Pastor Chris opened a church for his members. I used to be partner that they would
Yes,
give
yes, yes.
targets. They used to give targets, yeah. Members that they will give targets to partner with the church. So when we
Okay.
give the
Yes.
money, instead of using the money for the reason or for the propagation of the gospel or to reach out, you will put the money inside a bank. And you have enough
Yes.
money now.
So what my own find is like once the money will be kept in that bank, so maybe if they want to go for any support, any organizational support or charity home, so all the
Any
money will be
project.
they will take some percentage from that particular bank, then to run whatever they want to do. So that is my own findings, but I don't know the background of the aims and the major background of the establishment of that particular bank. But my own findings, that's what I found. So I don't really know, but from my own findings, that is what all I know, and all I can say is
Wait,
majorly for the partnership.
okay. Please, Kingsley, you heard what he just said now. So in Christ Embassy, they have
Yeah.
this thing that they call partners, yeah? Now, these people are all over the world. So they have so much money that Pastor Chris now decide to float a bank so that
Of
he'll
course,
be in
that.
charge of that bank. He'll be in charge.
Yeah,
Whenever he wants
of
to
course.
take money, nobody gives him account. Is that thinking not fraudulent? I'm just saying. I don't know. Because that money could also be in any other bank, but he's saying that he's floating a bank so that he can access the money anytime he wants, and that people will now. I don't get. I don't get. If that's your research, then I'm also more scared than I was before. Please, what do you have to say about this latest development or news that we have heard?
It's just let me tell you something. I'm lot of I don't know what to say any longer in short because this church is these pastors are billionaires. They are very very rich. So
Please, Abuba, let me
I
ask you
don't
a
know.
question. Yeah, do
I'm
you
I'm
go to
just I'm really tired of these churches. That's the problem with me.
Abuba?
I'm
Are you
tired.
there?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Do you go to Christ Embassy?
Partially, but that is where my parents
Okay,
are. The
wait,
shop
wait.
my
So
parents
if
attend.
you go to Christ Embassy or partially go to Christ Embassy, how do you feel when next a pastor asks you that is money for something or they want to buy something, and you know that
Uh,
in
it,
CBN you guys have millions, because for you to float a bank, CBN requires, I think it's 2 billion or 1 billion. So you guys have 1 billion in CBN. So what morality would the pastor have
hello,
to
hello, ma. Hello, ma.
Mm.
Hello.
I am listening.
Yeah, I think my sister have something to say in regards to this. Favor, come over. Come and say
Oh,
something.
Favor, hi. Favor, hi. How are you?
Hold on, please.
Mm.
Good evening.
Hi, Favor.
Good
How are
evening.
you?
Good evening, ma.
Hi. Do you go to Christ Embassy?
Yes, ma.
Okay. My
Oh,
question is, now I used to go to my family used to go to Christ Embassy. I'm still wondering if I'm going to go back or not. So I had this news and I'm asking a question. How can a pastor have up to 2 billion, put it in central bank, open account, a bank to be putting the money? So when next they ask you to give money for Rhapsody or for TV ministry, will you give?
Yes.
knowing that you guys have 2 billion with central bank?
The 2 billion is not for him. It's not for his personal use. The Rhapsody is not printed free. They use
Okay.
money and all of that.
Okay, so Rhapsody is not printed free, but he has 2 billion that he has given to central bank for them to keep for him. Then he's collecting more of your money. Kingsley, sure you have seen it.
He's not keeping it himself. The History magazines. Do you know how many billions of copies of Rhapsody? Do you know how many copies
Okay,
of
listen. Pastor Chris have a printing press. So where they print those things, he owns it. I'm not going to talk about Pastor Chris here because I'm not particular about him. But the point is that most of this printing press, he owns it. Rhapsody is printed. We know where it's printed. Yet he makes people to buy the Rhapsody that is being printed. Do you understand? So let's not talk about it. Thank you, Abuba. Your sister has said what you have to say. So she's going to still be giving. Yeah. She'll still be giving, knowing that you guys have 5 billion or 1 billion in a bank. Well done.
Thank you.
So much.
You're welcome.
Listen, that's what we're saying, isn't it?
Yeah, of
Hello?
course, that's what we're saying. Yeah, of course.
Some people, no matter, even if he buys 20.
But I understand. Okay, let me give an example. You know Jehovah's Witness. They also print paper, books. These are what's they called? These are what's the Witness magazine. These mini magazines that they print when you go to print it, and they give it out for free. Is that not a church?
That's what I'm saying.
At least if you say
in Christ Embassy,
they give it out for free. They give those things out for free. But Rhapsody, oh, you pay for it.
No, Christ Embassy, they will tell you to sow for Rhapsody. One person buys like 50 Rhapsody or 10 Rhapsody, and then you have to buy it, and they will tell you they're giving it out for free. But they have a printing press. But other churches that I know, they give out free. Let's not even talk about the modality and the things that is going on. But mine is now opening a bank to lodge people's money inside when you have 2 billion with CBN and you cannot use it and you're still collecting money. Well, like one of the church members has told us, Pastor said, that's what I'm saying. We all need to be, I'm going to round up because I wanted us not to finish before the football. Kisley, can you see the blindness in our society? There is nothing we say, there is nothing we talk about. Yeah, it's not going to remove the veil. There's a veil that no one can remove.
Exactly.
And I was like that.
Of course, our people see the church, the pastors are gods. They see them second to God. So there's nothing to say. Most of majority of Nigerians will not believe. They'll do what they want to do. So you can't change it because I've seen a lot. I've argued with so many people, and I stopped arguing with them because I know that there's nothing I can do to convince them.
So when she was talking, I just found myself in her because all before the pandemic, I could argue. If you tell me, I could argue. Like, you know me now, I could argue and argue. Me and my husband, we can argue. But the pandemic made me look at things and I question everything now. And I'll find out that there is. Oh, Ahuba is back. Let's Ahuba.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No, you brought your sister, and your sister said what she said. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Is she how old is she? How educated is she? What level of education does she?
13 years.
Okay, I was once 13 and I was in BLW and I was in, and you guys educated. You heard what she said. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Your pastor have 2 billion, he gave it to CBN, and then he's making you guys pay 2,500 and taxing you every month. Yeah? Is something wrong with us? Are we really okay? You understand?
Well, In Nigeria, we all know what is happening in Nigeria. The rich getting richer while the poor getting poorer. So I'm not, I'm not surprised.
When she said it, I understand that because that used to be me. But as I'm getting old, as I'm getting closer to my grave, I keep telling
So
myself,
nothing
no,
is
no, no,
impossible
no.
in this country. Nothing is impossible in this country. I'm not surprised.
Hey, I can't believe it.
Well, well, we need to do more research on their aims of establishing that bank.
No. We know the M's. Let me tell you the M's. The M's is that when they transfer money to maybe TB ministry and everything, there are charges that they are paying. I had a court case that he had with Chimovia. He's been in courts, and there's so many things about transfer, an allegation. There's so many things that has been brought up by UK government about transfer. Do you understand? So owning a bank makes him in control. But my question is that part of the ministry? Is that part of preaching? Is that not looking into money and mammons?
See, Nika, I say something about, before I say churches is business. That's to tell you the priorities of the churches is a business. So that's to tell you all the churches is business. Church is just for business sake. That's number one priority. Heaven calling is secondary. Most important thing for the churches is the money.
Wow. Anyway, the way Ahuba is talking and the sister, they are going to be there first thing tomorrow morning to open accounts. and the funny thing is that when they pay your salary, they will take your first fruit and your salary from it. So you cannot lie to them and say they've not paid your salary, can you?
Yes. What did you say?
So when they pay your salary,
yes,
they will take the salary from source. So you cannot lie to them that they've not paid your salary because the account, your money goes to the account. So you take an standing instruction. Take my 10%, leave the rest for me. Especially if you are a leader. You guys like being a leader. Cell leader, pastor, deacon, they will take the money from source. So praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
That is not compulsory. If you are willing to give, you pay. But if you are not willing, you keep your thing inside your pocket. It's not compulsory. That is what my own personal belief.
Of course. That's supposed to be.
All right. I'm going to round up very well. Somebody's echoing. Somebody's listening is echoing. I think it's you, Ahuba.
Yeah.
All right. Let's round up. Kisley.
Yeah.
What is your? I'm going to mute Abu, but then when he's talking, I'll put him on. What is your final say about this? What's your advice out there? What do you want to tell Nigerian, especially the youth, because the youth are the ones gullible and they pick them when they are young. So what do you have to say to Nigerian youths?
My advice to people is that pastors are not God. They are human beings like us. So we should try and read your Bible, understand what the Bible is saying. Don't let anybody tell you something. Try to understand the Bible. No one should convince you otherwise. And also, well, that's my advice. They should just read the Bible, try to understand the Bible, and be mindful of the kind of churches they go. and the kind of what they digest from the pastor. Because and again, the rate of poverty here in Nigeria is another factor again that is contributing to all these things. Because as I said earlier, when people cannot afford to take 3 square meals, afford basic things that over there in UK and Europe and US people can afford. Here, 3 square meals like a miracle to most family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those things contribute a lot. So most people run to the church, feeling that when the pastor preach to them, miracle will happen. Maybe Yama and knife will
Miracle
fall from them.
money. Like Abuba is going to open the account, and what he wants is his miracle.
Yeah, miracle money. Miracle money will fall from heaven and solve their problem. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't
No,
work
no,
that
no,
way.
no, no. That's what they're
And
going to
again,
tell them.
and
Miracle
again,
money.
and again, I feel that the government also has a part to play. They need to look into these churches and regulate what the churches are doing, because this thing is impacting the society. It's impacting the society negatively. The government also needs to look into it. I think it's that time government regulate churches. Before, people were debating that government should not regulate churches, but I feel it's that time they regulate churches because it has gone out of hand, and this is negative impact in society. So that's what I
Thank
have
you
to
so
say.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to take you off and talk to Abuba. Abuba, thank you so much, Kinsley. Thank you. Abuba, what do you have to say to people?
Sorry, what did you say, ma?
What do you have to say about all these things, the availability and everything?
Well, the bank has already been established, but personally, I cannot open an account with them because I cannot put my money into an account that I don't have control over. If I'm investing my money into something, it is something that I can have control. I will know where my money is going to. I cannot open an account with them. I know the aims of the bank and I already know what they are up to, but to be frank, and personally, I cannot bank with them. And I see no any genuine reason why the bank should be established, because we have numerous commercial banks in Nigeria. So what is the essence of them opening the bank? Why can't they put whatever money they realize in one particular or in one specific bank? Then whatever they want to do, they'll take the money from there, not by establishing the bank itself. No.
That's
It's uncalled
selfishness.
for. No. That is big selfishness. I don't even call this selfishness. This I don't know. I don't know the word to use for this. Let me just say broad day scamming. Honestly.
Don't call them scammer. Don't call them scammer. Your sister goes to the church. She wants to be a pastor. So don't call them a scammer. Before your sister fights you this night. All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. You guys have watched us this 1 hour talking about the latest development of a church in Nigeria owning a bank. Now, I had been on this live show with a friend, Kinsley, and he has given us a wealth of knowledge. My first question is, if a church dives into business, are they still going to be called a charity? Will they now start paying tax? Because before, the government does not allow them to pay taxes, they will attempt to be charity. So now, if a bank is owned by a church, is that church the privilege that they enjoy as a charity? Should it not be taken? Also, what is the reason behind them opening a bank? I know that some other churches they do have microfinance banks, which is regulated differently, but this is owning a commercial bank. I've read what they said is going to happen, discipline and everything. Is it going to be run as a Christ Embassy member only church? Or are they going to run it as a Because if a Muslim or an Islamic person had opened a bank, by now the whole Nigeria were talking about Islamic bank being open. So we need to ask ourselves a question. I know that Nigerian Christ Embassy and the UK Christ Embassy, they have different separate entity. They did different board of directors. They are not the same legally, but if this was UK, it cannot happen. A church that is a charity organization cannot own a bank. It's not going to happen. Automatically, once a church owns a bank, people will now start asking legally for them not to benefit from charity and free tax. It's not going to happen. But yet, we live in Nigeria where anything happens, anything goes. So, what do you guys think? Are you going to open account in, is it Parallels Bank? And if you're opening the account, what is the rationale for a pastor to own a bank? What is the reason? Where is that linked to the ministry? If not that he's avoiding paying charges and paying other things that are linked to banking transaction. Well, I don't know what you guys think, but one thing I know is that Christianity is a personal race. You run it for yourself, I run it for myself. At the end of the day, the reason for what people are doing will be revealed at the last day. Not everything that you see is real. Thank you so much for watching. Drop your comments, share this video, broadcast this video. And you know what? If you want to open an account, open the account. But the question is the reason behind what pastors are doing in Africa needs to be questioned. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.